get ready to be amazed because today we're going to play Story Time. So, yep, we have the sequel to the origin story. So this is going to be a 3-part series. It's book 2, Rage. I'm hoping I'm going to kind of have an editor now. So, yay, clap your hands for him, like and subscribe. Woohoo, get into it. Okay, so, where we left off, Joe had finally got his powers and became a deity. But so did Bob. So, Joe was running through the forest trying to find, something to do since he had just run away from his home. When he ran into a pack of wolves, he's just like, I can take them. So he fought them. He ended up killing all the wolves, but he got severely injured in the process. That's when he learned he wasn't invincible. Meanwhile, Bob figured out that if you take Bobs and you make them do bad things, they turn into more powerful, evil versions of themselves. He called them Evil Bobs. Once Joe had recovered from his injuries, he started looking further into the forest, going deeper and deeper to places no one has ever gone before. He ended up running into an even larger pack of wolves. And this pack of wolves is not that easy to defeat. But luckily he had gotten more powerful. He still wasn't invincible, but he got more powerful. And he was able to defeat this larger pack of the wolves without even getting injured that much. Bob was following behind Joe with his evil Bobs, and he saw the corpses of all the dead wolves. He turned those into alive, evil versions of themselves called Eviler Bobs. Joe then continued to go through the forest, where he ran into a normal Bob. What are you doing this deep in the forest? He said. But Bob had something important to tell him. He told him that the old man he met in the cave had turned himself into Bob and was turning Bobs evil. Joe then asked if the Bob would like to become his spy, and the Bob said he would, of course. Joe then asked the Bob to go into the Petrieville, the place where Petrie was from, to see if they would side with the Bob, since they were evil. Bob heard this, and he was kind of upset, but he decided to just continue growing his army, making more evil Bobs and eviler Bobs. The spy eventually came back to Joe and told him that when he went into Petrieville, he saw Petrie, the one that Joe knew, she was alive. Joe was so shocked to hear this news. But meanwhile, the Bob was turning magic Bobs into evilest Bobs, since he thought the evilest Bobs would be the most powerful and final version of Bobs he would create. But he was, of course, wrong. Joe went and stormed into the village where Petrie was. And he told her, you better come out here, Petrie. And there she was, right out in the front. But she didn't know which Petrie he was talking to him. Because just like how everyone in Bobville is named Bob, everyone in Petrieville is named Petrie. So, she was really confused. Eventually, he pointed to her, and that's when she recognized him. Joe, she said. Yeah, why did you run away from the village? He said. I wanted to live a home here with my people. And then she did something that Joe would have never suspected. She pulled out a spear and held it right to his throat. But Joe, although not suspecting it, could do something really easy to stop it. He just made it disappear with his magic powers. How did you do that? She said. Well, since you didn't want to live with me, I guess we're not friends, and I'm not going to tell you. She then stormed off, and he was so upset. He had just made it so she would never come back, he knew. He was so upset. The love of his life was gone. He went through the forest, still very upset. But of course, he had a smile on his face because, all non-evil Bobs do. And he wasn't evil, and though he was mad. And he ran into D-Bob and D-Bob's entire army of evil Bobs, eviler Bobs, and evilest Bobs. Joe was still so upset, and no one there could comprehend what just happened. But Joe, instead of taking his anger out on Petrie and killing her, he did something different instead. He took it out on D-Bob and D-Bob's entire army by saying, I challenge you and your army to a duel. Dun dun dun. Please like and subscribe. It really does help. It helps me it encourages me to make more videos. And tell me if you like this new thing in the comments section. Oh, and if you were confused, the ones with the little stars on their chest, those are magic Bobs. So, yep. And I don't have an outro, so this is my outro.